Do you need a professional lens to get good quality pictures? Well, in this video, I'm going to tell you the truth about professional lenses, what they actually do, why a lot of the stuff that you're sold, that you're told, doesn't apply as much today. And I'm going to give you 3 things at the very end. 1, telling you how you can get better quality images from all lenses. 2, how you can save yourself some more money. And 3, what's probably ruining your pictures even if you have a professional lens. So, who am I? Well, my name is Mike Patterson, and I am a professional photographer and have been for over 41 years located here in Western Canada. I started out, and my love of photography still goes around nature and wildlife photography, but I also own and operate a photo lab here in Western Canada, and I've shot thousands and thousands of assignments, whether they be grads, families, weddings, commercial. I've worked for magazines, I've worked for newspapers, you name it, I've done it. I also own and operate a photo lab where I print for, beginners to experts from all across Western Canada, and I teach photography. And in my videos, I like to break down a lot of the lies, a lot of the misinformation that's out there about photography. And one of the big ones happens to be professional lenses. Now, I'm not saying professional lenses are not good. Understand, before you get angry, before you start typing stuff in, professional lenses have their place. And I'm going to talk about that. But there's also a lot of misinformation out there, or old information out there, around professional lenses. So click on the like button, click on the subscribe, and let's get into it. The number one reason that professional lenses have been recommended for years comes from the time when we shot film. And if I mispronounce film, I have to even say this in about every video, it's because I have a speech impediment and sometimes I don't pronounce it correctly. If that bothers you, you have bigger issues than me. So it came from back in the days when we shot film. And when we shot film, we didn't have a choice. We couldn't improve the picture once it was on the negative or the slide. So the biggest issue was if you shot a bad picture, whether it be a little out of focus, whether the lens coloring is off a little bit and you got a little bit of a color cast to it, whatever it was, that couldn't be fixed in post-production. A few things could be done, color balancing and such when you're printing from a negative, but a slide, nope, that's what you captured. And if you didn't get a nice sharp image, you were in trouble. So everybody said, and it was true at the time, that if you want better quality images, get a professional lens because they were sharper, and they still are sharper. I have noticed though that professional lenses and entry-level lenses, consumer lenses, the gap has actually narrowed quite a bit. Years ago, I did a test of a bunch of lenses that were being sold by some, camera chain stores. And some of these were name brand, house brand lenses. And the quality on them was horrible. Absolutely horrible. An entry-level lens from a camera manufacturer, whether it be Canon, Nikon, Minolta at the time, those lenses were so much better quality. But then you went and you got a professional lens and you put that up against even the good quality from the manufacturers, and they were even better. And it's still true today in a lot of cases, but that gap is really narrowed. We're getting better, sharper lenses. They're not costing us a fortune. And with post-production, we can do a lot of stuff to improve the quality of our lenses in post-production. But here's the big thing. The old saying was, garbage in, garbage out. Well, it's still true today. If your lens is really not sharp, there's only so much you can do to make it look really good. You can put it in Photoshop and run unsharp mask, or run smart sharpen, run Topaz AI, run whatever sharpening you want. And it will improve the quality of your images, which we couldn't do years ago when we shot film, when we shot slides, negatives, whatever it was. But today we can. But why should you have to? If you're doing it for a living, if you're trying to sell your work, why not get the best quality, the best focus you can? If you can afford it, I recommend it. But you don't necessarily need it. There's actually better reasons to buy a professional lens than the sharpness argument. And many people today are still stuck 20, 30, 40 years ago, and for coming from an old guy, that's pretty sad saying, they're still stuck with that sharpness argument. Yes, they're sharper. I'm not arguing. I'm not saying they're not. A good quality professional lens, I have lots of them. And yes, they are sharper. But for most people, that sharpness is not the main cause of, or main thing to buy a professional lens. So what's the main thing? What do I think is the biggest thing? Well, the biggest thing is, for me, the fixed aperture. Buying a lens that you can shoot manually in a photo studio or outside on location, and you can set the aperture at 2.8 and you can zoom in through the entire zoom range and not have the aperture change. To me, that's the biggest selling point, even today, than anything else on the lenses. It really and truly is. I love it. I think that that's the greatest thing. Sure, you can set your aperture higher. So let's say you have a lens that goes from 3.5 to 5.6. You can set your lens at 5.6. You can zoom through the entire range and it won't change. But if you're looking to shoot at 2.8, if you're looking to shoot at f4 and you don't want that to change, having a professional lens keeps the aperture the same through the entire zoom range. And it really is, in my opinion, worth it. What's the other advantages of a professional lens? Well, a big advantage is, and bigger years ago than it is today, was we had these amazing apertures, 1.2, 2.8, 4, that you could shoot a 300 2.8 lens and your background was so blurry that it was just amazing. Your subject stood out. It was just great. Or you could go into a darker room and you could shoot at 2.8, at 1.8, at 1.4, 1.2, whatever it was, and you could get these amazing pictures even though it was low light. Well, that was more important back then than it is now. Because today, we can throw it into a program like Photoshop and we can blur the background and it looks actually pretty good. But here's my thing. If you're shooting 1,000 wedding photos, do you want to go through and manually change every background so it's out of focus? Why not just shoot at 1.2? Why not just shoot at 1.8 or 2? Why not do it correctly to begin with? You can still do it, but why? The other point that I just mentioned was, if you could shoot at 2.8 or f2 or 1.2, whatever that was, you could shoot in lower light. And in a lot of situations, this was required. When I shot sports for newspapers, magazines, for publications, I needed a lens that was fast enough that I could shoot inside, that I could get some amazing sports pictures, or even if it wasn't sports, other events, and I could get some amazing pictures in lower light. Sure, we could load a faster film, but a lot of times you would already be shooting an assignment and then you would go where it was a bit darker and you either took the film out and put in a new roll and shot that and remembered where you were on the old one or tried to finish that. It was just a nightmare. So a faster lens was so much more advantageous back then. Today, if you need to shoot under lower lights, we have such a range of ISO to play with that you can crank your ISO up to 24,800, 56,000, whatever the number is, and still shoot. But yes, a pro lens will give you so many more advantages in that area, that you can shoot in lower light, that you can blur the background. It is truly worth it. And again, of all the things that you can do with all lenses, these are some of the things that really set a pro lens apart. Sure, you can do it in Photoshop. Sure, you can do it in Affinity. Sure, you can do it in Topaz. Whatever it is. But if you're doing it on a regular basis, a pro lens may be advantageous for you. Now, the next one, I wasn't even going to put it in here because this is one of these 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I hear people all the time saying a pro lens is better built, better sealed. A pro lens, you won't get dust in it. A pro lens, you can shoot out in the rain. All true, 100% true. Here's the thing though. Many people that I know with pro lenses, unless they're doing it for a living, if it's snowing, if it's raining, they're still not going out there and getting their lenses soaked. They're still not taking it out and walking behind a combine where there's dust galore just to get that look. They're just not doing it. So whether your lens is professional or amateur, if you're looking after, if you're not going out in bad weather and everything, very minimal the sealing has to do with it. But yes, it does make a difference. Believe me, it does. If you do it for a living and you have to go where it's a little rainy or a little snowy, having that lens that's sealed is a benefit, believe me. But if you're one of these fair weather photographers that only goes out when it's perfect, or you only shoot inside, that's a minor thing. The last thing, the very last one, and that is many of the pro lenses use much better motors in them for auto-focusing. They're quieter, they're faster, and they're more accurate. Now, I'm not saying that that's like, well, an amateur one is so bad and the pro lens is, oh, that's 10 billion times better. What I'm saying is just those little bit of things in it make it just a little bit better. An example, the lens that I'm using here is a 50 millimeter 1.8. Picked it up from a friend of mine at a really good price. He told me though, beware, don't ever use it for videoing. And I says, oh, why not? First of all, it hunts, and it does. That's why I'm sitting here. That's why I got bright lights in here. That's why I'm not moving, because it does hunt, and it doesn't lock on very good. All my other lenses work really good. This one hunts. The other thing with this one is, if you're using a microphone on camera or the microphone in the camera, it's so noisy, you can't hear your subject talk. It is pro lenses, the drives in them, the motors in them are so much quieter. Now, it's not for all. I have a beautiful lens in the other room. It's an 18 to 135. That lens is quiet, that lens is accurate, and it's just a cheap kit lens. It's not a professional lens. It's a really good lens. Manufacturers have made lenses today, mini lenses, really good, and they work really well, whether they're professional or whether they're amateur. But watch for all these little things. Add them all up, and it can justify buying a professional lens. Now, I told you I was going to give you some tips here, so let's get into some tips. So what can you do to improve any lens? What can you do that ruins more lenses than anything? And how can you save money with your lenses? Well, let's talk about these three things. And let's start with the one thing that ruins more lenses than anything, whether it's a professional lens or whether it's a consumer starter lens. What is that one thing? The filter. Don't buy $9.90 filters to put on your $500 lens or your $5,000 lens. It will ruin it. If it's plastic, if it's bad quality glass, and you put on the end of the lens, no matter how good that lens is, it's going to be degraded by that filter. And I know camera stores shove filters down your throat when you're buying lenses. Why? Because they make more money off of these filters than they do off a lot of camera packages. If you're going to put a filter on any lens, a consumer lens, a professional lens, buy a good quality filter. Spend the money. It's worth it. Or don't put a filter on it. What will improve most lenses? It's simple. A lens hood. Get a good lens hood and put on your lens. Many professional lenses come with lens hoods because the manufacturers know that light reflecting off the front element of a lens will degrade the clarity, will make it look horrible. So get a good lens hood. Get the correct lens hood for your lens. It makes a huge difference. And how can you save money with buying lenses? Well, I really hate to say this, I really do. If you're thinking of being into photography long term and you haven't built up a good lens supply at this point, and you're shooting with a DSLR camera, don't buy lenses for your DSLR camera. I'm sorry, and it hurts me to say this. If you're looking at staying in the photography business industry, hobby long term, buy a mirrorless camera body and then start buying your good lenses or a selection of lenses for that body. Why? Because DSLR cameras are not being manufactured by manufacturers at this point. And the lens selection has gone down big time. And yes, I know you can buy a DSLR lens and you can throw it on a mirrorless camera body with an adapter and it will work. But I see so many people who have done this, and within a year, within 6 months, they're actually selling off the lens and the adapter to buy the actual lens because there have been issues, or it's just bigger, or it's just not as convenient, or. So if you're thinking of staying into photography for any length of time, bite the bullet now. buy a mirrorless camera body. Oh, that hurts to say. Buy the lenses for it, and you'll be much happier, and you'll save yourself a lot of money. And let us old guys who still have the DSLRs keep our lenses for our DSLRs and enjoy them. No, I'm just joking. So until next time, get out there and take some amazing pictures. Have fun doing it, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye now.